Hello, everyone. So, Atiku has accused Tinubu of strangling democracy, and he said that Tinubu is politicizing DSS and other security agencies. You see what has been happening. A lot of people are being picked up, and I get it where people say some of these people picked up, they deserve what is coming to them. But then the thing is this: when you're fighting for people's human rights, or when you're fighting against injustice, you don't only do it to the people you like. And so because you don't like someone, then you will not fight for their justice and whatever is wrong is wrong. And whoever it is that is being done to, one must ensure that one is consistent in standing on the side of justice. Atiku further accused Tinubu's government of orchestrating a coordinated campaign to weaken opposition forces and consolidate power. Tinubu's illegitimate government, as far as I'm concerned. It's other reporters reporting that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has slammed Mr. Bola Tinubu over his administration's undermining of democratic institutions and steering Nigeria towards authoritarian rule. In a statement issued on Monday by his media office, Atiku said that the recent action by security agencies, particularly the Department of State Services (DSS), against signal a dangerous pattern of political intimidation aimed at silencing opposition figures ahead of the 2027 election. The former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) was reacting to the sealing of properties linked to former Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malemi by the operatives of the Department of the State Services (DSS) in what he described as a lawless and politically motivated operation. According to Atiku, the move carried out by the security agency, despite ongoing court proceedings, reflect a broader strategy by the Tinubu administration to weaponize state institutions against perceived political opponents. This is not governance, Atiku said. This is intimidation. This is regime weaponizing state power to silence dissent. He warned that Nigeria's democratic framework is being steadily eroded, with security agencies increasingly deploying for partisan purposes rather than national security. What we are seeing is the naked abuse of power. Security agencies deployed not for national security but for settling political score. This is how democracies die, he added. Atiku further accused Mr. Tinubu's government of orchestrating a coordinated campaign to weaken opposition forces and consolidate power. He claimed that prominent political figures are being pressured into aligning with the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). He cited the alleged targeting of individuals such as Nasir El-Rufai and Malemi as part of a wider effort to intimidate dissenting voices. Let me quickly say here, if they are looking at prosecuting people, how come Ganduje is free? How come Yaya Bello is not only free but is all over the place, where they are going to be you know he's just it's just all over the place, being in places, being in your face kind of a thing. Why is he not also being prosecuted? Why is the case of Okowa, those who have entered APC, the moment they enter APC, no matter what it is that they have, everything seems to be left for them freely, but other people who have refused to, you see all of these things where they are coming at them. And the question is not that, oh, don't prosecute if you have something. Follow the channel of the law. Follow the process, you understand, of ensuring that justice is gotten or prosecution happens. The former vice president also raised concerns about what is described as a creeping move towards a one-party state, warning that the suppression of opposition undermines the credibility of future elections. When opposition is criminalized and dissent is punished, elections become a mere formality, he said, adding that such trajectory could render electoral processes meaningless. Drawing parallels with Nigeria's military past, Atiku likened the current situation to the self-succession bid associated with late head of state Sani Abacha, warning that the country risks repeating a dangerous script. I remember when they did that 1 million man march, youth earnestly asked for Abacha. Youth earnestly asked for Abacha, they called it. They will do advert and say who the cap fit, and they will show different cap all on Sale Abacha's head. You know, they made it that, oh, he was the only one. Every party that was, everybody was adopting him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's what they probably think they're going to replicate. But 2026 is not the same thing as 1998. Human rights activists have expressed concern over rising tension between opposition figures and the Nigerian authorities, particularly following a series of high-profile investigations, arrests, and defections across party lines. While the presidency has repeatedly denied accusations of political persecution, insisting that law enforcement agencies operate within the bound of the law. Critics argue that the timing and pattern of such actions raise legitimate questions about selective enforcement. Atiku called for Nigerians to resist any attempt to undermine democratic freedom, warning that the erosion of political choice could have long-term consequences for governance and stability. Freedom of choice is the lifeblood of democracy. Once you kill it, dictatorship takes over. Let me just remove my glasses here to say Nigeria getting to a place where there's dictatorship, one party state is not something that any one of us want to see or experience ever again in our country. We've had a lot of military, and they weren't the best, for our country. One of the things every one of us must know is that this democracy that we are enjoying today, a lot of people died for it. It wasn't easy. It was almost looked upon as something that was impossible, was never going to happen. Before finally in 1999, we saw all of that happening. So please, don't waste that democracy that we have. As much as possible, part of the things that you could do, be part of a political party. Join the ADC at www.adcregistration.ng, and you can then go on to be part of those that are going to select who are going to be the flag bearer. You have power. Please use it. Thank you so much for watching.